Hello my friends, this is Karina from KarinaWisdom.com, back with day 30 of the journey. And yeah, I got good news and bad news. Well, you know what? I promised myself that I wouldn't use the word bad news. So I have good news and really, really good news. How about that? But before we go into that, let's look at how am I feeling today. I'm really feeling a little bit lazy. I really had to force myself to get things done. And I don't know what it is, but sometimes you just get into that funk and you don't feel the motivation to work. I've been watching motivational videos today. I've been reading motivational books, and they help a bit. However, I'm not firing at my usual norm when I get up to work during the day. Well, guess what? This will happen to you. Sometimes you'll feel like there isn't enough steam just to get things going. And you just have to push yourself through as much as you can. Just push yourself through and do whatever you can. And when you think you can't do any more, just go that little bit further. Richard Branson was asked what was the key to his success, and his response was to work when you don't feel like working. Yeah, that's a tough one. When you're able to push through and still make it happen on those days when the tank is low and you just don't feel like you can do it, that's when you become unstoppable. When you're able to work when you feel like not working, that's when you become unstoppable towards your goal. Most of you may have full-time jobs while you're carving out an income online, and your business will suffer, especially on days like these. After you've done a full day at work and you come back, your business tends to suffer because you just don't have the gas in the tank to make it happen. You feel so tired and you just want to go to bed or sleep. You just want to just veg out in front of the TV. And don't get me started on the TV, so I'll leave that for another episode. The key to success is to determine your minimum level of operation. I did this with my accountability partner once, and we were discussing what we're going to be doing the following week. And she really got into that she's going to do this and that. And I was sitting down listening, and I was like, wow, that sounds like a lot. So then I took her through this process. I said, okay, what you've explained to me, that looks like you at 100% capacity, meaning what 100% level of taking action, and everything is perfect, the stars are aligned, everyone is doing what they're supposed to do, and you will just get it done, and that's your 100%. So I said, okay, what would 80% look like? Meaning, what would 80% activity look like? So she peeled away some of the things that she would have done that week. And so I said, does that look like 80% to you? She's like, yes. I'm like, well, I agree. And how do you feel about that? If you were to complete that amount for the day, would you still feel good? I mean, you wouldn't feel like awesome, excited, out of the world, fantastic because you have done it all. But would you still be okay with that? She's like, yes, I'll be okay with that. I'm like, okay, let's strip it down a little bit more. What would 60% look like? If you were to get 60% of that done, what would it look like? And so she went through, okay, I can do this, 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 and only those would make 60%. I'm like, okay, cool. If you only completed that at 60% during the week, would you be happy with that? She's like, well, you know what? I wouldn't be thrilled over the moon, but then I wouldn't feel like I've wasted time. I'd feel like I've just done what I needed to get done. I'm like, okay, there you go. So you know what is your maximum capacity in terms of what is your ideal, what you'd really love to do. And then you know your minimum capacity, what you need to get done regardless. And yeah, you're not going to be over the moon thrilled, excited because you have gotten that 60% done. However, you're not going to be totally disappointed and feel like you've wasted your time. So I think that you're getting the idea of what I'm saying, especially if you have a full-time job and you're doing this, carving out your income online while you're working at your full-time job. You need to determine what is 100% level of work for you on your online business, what is 80%, and what is 60%. What does that look like? And when you have those days when you are feeling like I am, you just feel tired and so lazy, then you just do your 60%. Because you know you have already pre-established it. You know that you're happy with it as it is. You're going to do that 60%, and you can sleep well at night and know that you have made that one extra step towards your goal of building your business online. So what does my 60% look like? Well, my 60% is my DMO. And just a reminder that my DMO is my daily method of operation. Anything else above that brings me into the 80% or the 100% level of activity towards my business. So, like for instance, if you go on my blog and you check out my daily chronicle of this journey, you'll notice that I rate myself from 1 to 10 based on the activity that I've completed for the day. If you see me rate myself a 7, that usually means I just maybe completed the DMO. Well, not maybe, I completed the DMO, and then I might have done a couple of things extra to that. But a 7 to me is only just pretty much doing my DMO. Anything above that, if you see a rating of an 8, a 9, or a 10, you know I've done a lot more things in addition to my DMO. So my DMO is the minimum. However, what I would say that for today, even though I felt like this, like so tired, like I really just can't do anything, I still completed my DMO. And I'm still happy that I completed almost 3 hours of focused activity. And when I say focused activity, yes, I did have a timer that I set, and I only focused on what I had to be done on my list. So those are some of the key things that you can use to help set yourself up for success, because these days will happen and you need to determine what will be your minimum activity when you have one of these days, because your online business needs you to pay attention to it every single day. And if you're not paying attention to it, then you need to hire someone to pay attention to it. And I know a lot of you are probably just starting out like me, that there isn't enough money in the bank to pay somebody else to take care of it, so it's all you until you get to that stage. And that's a stage that I'm working towards, that I'll build this and then I'll delegate, because at the end of the day, your online business needs eyeballs on it. Not only the eyeballs of people that are visiting, they're joining your list, they're buying your products, but eyeballs maintaining it. And why would I want to delegate my business? Well, I've seen a couple of circumstances that makes me know that's the next natural progression once you have built your online business. And I do suggest people do this, because I'll give you one example. I remember there was this one lady I was speaking to, and she was just getting her site back up on track. She was on fire. I mean, she literally built the list in tens. She built a list of tens of thousands of people. She had a booming business, and then her mother died, and she just could not recover from the grief of her mother's death, and she couldn't look at her business, and that business suffered because it was all her and only her. Now, if she had put a system in place, and she just literally dropped off the face of the earth for about 2 years. And that's how long it took her to recover from the grief of her mother's death. Now, if she had a system in place where slowly but surely she handed over parts of the business to a team that she hired that will run it, whenever an event like this happens, she can go ahead and grieve and know that the business will be taken care of. And that's my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to build it and then delegate it, so that if for whatever reason I need to take some time off, I need some time to myself, I need to take care of family business, or I'm sick, at least there's some eye being kept on the business. Now, I've been learning a lot of nuances today with solo ads. And one of the things that I realized was, yes, I ran the ad. Yes, there are people jumping onto my list. The ad, I would consider the ad a success. It's my first ad. That's the first stage. There's still a second stage of testing for this ad, meaning I tested the squeeze page and there are people opting in, and I'm happy with how the squeeze page performed. Now the next level of testing is how the list will perform. So this new list that I've been building from the squeeze page, I need to monitor, are they engaging? Meaning, are they opening up my emails and are they clicking the links? And that's what I need to determine. Then I will know whether or not this solo ad vendor, if they're giving good clicks. Because a lot of the times you get the clicks and the people aren't responsive, or they may not be responsive to your offer. So you have to find a vendor that has a list of people that are responsive to your offer. So I think he has delivered all the clicks to me now. I got 200 clicks from him, and he gave me 227 the last time I checked. Maybe there might be a few more rolling in by tomorrow morning. And now we're on to the second stage of testing. For the day one email that was sent out, it looked really good. I got 29% open rate, which is really, really good for a day one email, because I know that a lot of times they say that the industry standard for emails are 3% to 5%. However, I think if you have built that relationship with your list, then you'll get a higher percentage. And the only way you can build a relationship with your list is if you communicate with them daily, meaning they see your name popping up in their inbox daily, and you're providing them immense value. The other nuance that I've learned now with solo ads is I checked, and there are people that were opting in directly from my blog. And I knew it was from people who visited the solo ad. And I checked around with a couple of persons in my coaching program, and I learned that I shouldn't have put that squeeze page that I built on lead pages, that I shouldn't have put that squeeze page onto my blog, that I should have left that squeeze page hosted on lead pages server for one of two reasons. Number one, lead pages server, it loads the page up really, really fast. And I think it was Amazon.com who did some research that said the slower the page loads up, the faster people will click close on the page. So I think it's like by seconds. So if the page takes more than 3 seconds to load up, you'll have people just clicking out. So that's the other thing. Lead pages, they have a really good and fast server, so their pages load up pretty fast. The second reason that I should have had the squeeze page hosted on lead pages is bounce rate. And what a bounce rate is when people visit your blog, and especially when you run analytics and track how people are responding to the different pages of your blog. Now, the bounce rate is how long somebody stays on your blog. So if somebody's reading an article, obviously it's not going to take them 5 minutes to read the article. It's going to take them about 10 to 15 minutes to read the article. And maybe they might stay on your site an average 15, 20 minutes, right? That is the bounce rate. Now, the lower your bounce rate, meaning if they only stay 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes on your site, the lower your bounce rate, the lower the search engines will rank you. So it will affect your ranking in Google and all the search engines. Now, because you are running a solo ad and all these people are just hitting this page, they're hitting the page not to read content. They're hitting the page to put their email in. As a result, it's affecting your bounce rate. So it will be curious to see when I look at my analytics to see how my bounce rate looks, because right now I'm only using my analytics to see how many persons visited my page. That's why I knew that there were only 9 visits to my page last week. And we won't talk anymore about that because this is a new week, new strategy, and I'm going to get it done. The other thing that I'd really love to report is yes, finally! The funnel is exactly how I want it to be. I mean, the single opt-in portion thingy that I was having an issue with for the last 2 days, I finally figured it out. Okay, yesterday I know I said I figured it out, but today I figured it out more, and I'm just so super happy and proud of myself. Now I can make everything in alignment and just put it together, and it's done. How beautiful is that? I mean, I'm just so happy right now. I could cry. Anyway, that's another story. Well, my friends, you can click like to this video below. You can also click subscribe to this channel. Really get the latest video as soon as it's published. In the description below, you'll see my link to my website, carinawisdom.com. Click it, head over, and you'll see day 30, a detailed listing of my dig sheet, exactly what I have completed today. And yeah, it is a little bit more than my DMO, even though I felt lazy. So I did like 2 extra hours, 2-3 focus hours of work. So I'm going to list that there for you. While you're over there, just plug your name into the little yellow box with the red dash lines around it. And that's my opt-in form. Put your email in, click the red button that says, "Give me access now," and you will get access to my brand spanking new funnel. And it's so pretty, and you just need to see for yourself to agree with me that it's pretty. Well, this is Carina from carinawisdom.com signing off. Boom.